know everything, but like I get so caught up away with work and being a dad and all that. Um,
Yeah.
but let me do my little intro here. It's This Week in Charles Bronson, a highly uncalled for news and pop culture program that revolves around one weirdo and his community's obsession with the late great action star. And tonight, Stockmania is running wild. Film geek, fanatic, and collector Tom Stockman is with us, as well as Maximum Kill Count, the Thunder from Down Under, Max Adams, all the way from Australia, to All's the Avenger. And of course, taking your calls and spinning your favorite tracks is the teenage heartthrob Danny Getz. And tonight we are going to be looking at Tom Stockman's collection and talking to him about his Charles Bronson obsession. Tom, you've been collecting
Hey,
movie memorabilia for how long?
probably 40 years or more, but I know my first Charles Bronson piece was probably when I was about 10, and that would have been 1971. I had a dirty by 28 on my bedroom wall when I was 10.
You had a dirty dozen. What was that? Because you froze up a minute. Oh boy.
It was a
Yeah.
half 22 by 28-inch poster.
Okay, so you had a dirty dozen 22 by 28 poster. You froze up a little bit there, but that's all right. We got that. And that was when you were 10. Okay, so I started my Bronson obsession when I
All
was
right.
around 12 or 13. And I'm turning 50 on Tuesday. So I was a
Happy
little,
birthday.
Okay.
yeah, and I was a
I
little,
didn't know that. Is he? Are you having a birthday? I never knew.
who, me? Yeah, on Tuesday I'm turning 50. But you know that from the group.
You're
But
freezing up.
yeah, I know. Well, let's hope that hopefully we'll get through this without too much issues. If not, we'll figure something out. But yeah, I'm turning 50, so that means like in I was born in 75. So when I became a fan, it was like 87 or 88. So
Mm.
like yeah, it was like late. But it was also at the same time, it was amazing for me because the video store craze and cable TV and even like UHF TV, like it was like here was this guy that already had 30 some years of film out, at the time, almost 40 years of film. And it was just like I just dove in like head first. Like I'm not a completist with much things. I'm a Charles Bronson and a Ramones completist.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
I
your
can,
first? What's
I
your
can,
first? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was just going to tell you the first time I ever saw Bronson.
Yeah, please.
It would have been around 1969 or 68. And it was the first time Dirty Dozen ever played on network television. It was a Sunday night movie. So I was
Mhm.
6 or 7 years old, and I remember my mom making me go to bed because it was a long movie, so it ran past bedtime, and she wouldn't let me stay up and
Right.
watch the end. So the next morning, I jump up onto my dad's lap, and I'm like, "So what happened at the end of that movie, Dad?" And he was like, "Well, Dirty Dozen goes and they blow up the Nazi castle and they kill all the Nazis." And I'm thinking, "Oh, cool! And what happens to the Dirty Dozen?" And my dad said, "Well, they all die." And I was like, "They all die?" He goes, "Well, that one guy that kind of looks like an Indian, he didn't die." Oh, and then I saw The Great Escape probably right around that time. And
Right.
150 guys escape, and they almost all of them get captured except that same guy.
Right.
And this was all before I was 10. So
Right.
yeah, I mean Bronson really hadn't even made a lot of his films like Right Around the Rain by then. But I didn't see another Bronson movie except a few on TV, but I didn't see another Bronson movie until the first Death Wish. My dad took me to see that, and I was 12 then.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but the irony is, my dad passed away a couple of years ago. But in 2016, he was starting to get dementia, so I took him to the movie, and I saw Death Wish starring Bruce Willis, and that was the
Oh
last movie.
wow.
That was the last movie my dad and I saw together.
Wow. That's quite a legacy there. And
Yeah,
I it's funny I said, "Oh wow," because I'm thinking of a dad taking his son to see that at 12. But I was like 12 or 13 the first time I saw it. I stayed, but it was on HBO.
yeah.
but I am, although I'm younger than you, and but you look great, by the way. I would have thought I would have thought we were the same age almost, but although I am younger than you, I do remember I remember a time before VHS, before cable, where yeah, you'd stay up late at night.
Hmm.
And I also remember like some movie, if a movie was over 2 hours, I guess because of commercials, sometimes it would be on two nights. Do you ever remember that? Like I remember watching, like my mom would watch Gone with the Wind every year. And they played what,
Yeah,
one half one night and the other half another night. It was
yeah.
like crazy. It's neat looking back at those
Oh
times.
yeah, sure. And sometimes they had VHS tapes. I think The Great Escape, when it first came out on VHS, was on two tapes.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you probably know this from the page, or maybe you don't. But yeah, I was like 12 and I was home on a school night and I came across The Evil That Men Do on television.
Yeah.
And I was been a fan at that point of James Bond, uh, Spider-Man, G.I. Joe, T Hunter on, cop shows on television. So I always liked the good guy, but I never saw a good guy be kind of a bad guy. He was like the first anti-villain, not anti-villain, anti-hero that I ever saw. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember seeing him step on a guy's throat. They, of course, they cut out the fact that he was grabbing the guy by the
Oh
by the dick,
yeah, that was a
throwing a
great
knife.
thing.
Yeah, throwing a knife into someone's throat, pushing them off a balcony with a fire hose around their neck, and I was just like, I was like instantly like obsessed and in love, but I was also felt like kind of dirty, like because I was still essentially like a little kid almost, and I was just like, ooh, like I can't believe it was on television, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I was in college when that one came out. I saw that at the theater.
yeah. You
But
probably seen it before you show us your collection. You probably saw a lot of them in the theater. Is
I
that correct?
well, I saw them all. I mean, after Death Wish, they built this cinema that I could ride my bike to, and they would
Mhm.
show. They had four screens, which was unheard of then. And I remember riding my bike and seeing Hard Times, Breakout Pass, um, the real mainstream Bronson movies that played around that time. Some of the ones I didn't see until like Violent City and a few others, even Right Around the Rain, I didn't see until I was able to get my hands on VHS because I don't remember those ever playing.
There were European ones, although Rider on the Rain, from what I read, and I'll probably get jumped all over by the people that know better than I. But I read somewhere that didn't do that too bad in the U.S. Like for a
No,
European film, but it also probably didn't play everywhere. You know what
well,
I mean?
they issued it twice in the U.S.
Hmm.
and if I've got both of the one sheet movie posters, and the one captures the spirit of the movie very well. It's sort of shadowy, and Bronson's not even on it. And
Right.
then the second one's the one you're probably more familiar with, where he's got his gun up to the woman's head and his shirt is off, and say
Yeah.
Bronson at his brutal best and something. So
Right.
they try to promote it as something it really wasn't. But I think there was probably a year or so gap between those two issues, and they were just trying to cash in because Bronson had become such a big star.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Rider on the Rain was probably the second one I watched
yeah,
on UHF television.
yeah.
Like probably a week or two after Evil That Men Do, I watched it one
Uh,
Sunday afternoon,
yeah.
and I remember, and I like to bring this up on the show because I think it's bizarre, but at 12 or 13, I remember really liking it, even though I didn't understand it.
Yeah, it's kind of slow
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
club.
yeah, I'm kind of amazed that I liked it at that age. When you went to see these movies in the theater, like as a really young man, were you disappointed by any of them? Like,
No,
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 you
it
loved them
was
all.
such a treat. Back then, this was before VHS tapes, so seeing an R-rated movie was something of a challenge. You
Yeah,
had to get your dad or one of your friends' dads to take you. They were pretty strict about um, not selling tickets to R-rated movies to kids. I remember when I was 13, I would ride up to that cinema on my bike, and I would actually approach strange older men in the parking lot and hand them cash and ask them to buy my tickets. And that's how I saw like Scorchy with Connie Stevens and Capone with Ben Gazzara. There's a bunch of R-rated movies I saw that way.
Did you know that Max Adams actually still approaches older men with cash in parking lots? Did you know that?
Well, good for him.
Now all my friends are gonna know.
Max, before he shows us some of his collection, do you have any questions for Tom?
Oh, mate, I have lots, but so you're not still doing the geeks? We are.
We Are Movie Geeks. That was my website I had for 14 years. I retired it. I never got paid for it.
It was pretty famous because I remember that name before I knew you.
Yeah,
I remember the name. Yeah,
I got a lot of free movies in the mail and dance screenings. There were perks, but it got to be too much work for free, and I just I got remarried and I just had other things going on.
Yeah, and that was you were advertising a lot of like movie theaters and that, weren't you, in the local area?
I was the local film scene I would cover and did a lot of interviews. Yeah, but I have other hobbies too.
Yeah, speaking of getting free stuff, I just want to thank, while I'm sitting here on the air, Bronson Con for this Charles Bronson shirt and Buczynski brand. Look up Bronson Con and Buczynski brand, everybody. If you're a new collector and you're looking for something like this cool driver's license from Death Wish 2, those two guys have some really cool merch. And that's basically all I get out of this show. But I'll tell you what, at in my late 40s, early 50s, I'll take it. But honestly though, there are times where I feel a little worn out. Did you ever get worn out doing the We Are Movie Geeks? Like, did you ever feel like a lot was expected of you and it was just
I think people that I was helping to promote assumed I was making money, and so they get picky and want to make all these little changes, and I'm thinking, I did get kind of burned out on it.
No. Max, what else did you? I'm going to let Max talk a little bit because he's in Australia.
Yeah, I've always found it really hard to find things and not as available as it is in the States. But I became a big fan of his TV appearances. The early TV appearances, and went hard into that. You blew me away when you showed me. I think I did a post last April, and it was about me and ET trying to get together and work on a podcast about his early work. Some of it was brilliant, and then you replied with a photo of all your VHS of some of the old rare stuff. And I just want to know, if that's, mate, there was an episode on this vintage television. I think it's got vintage television of Sugarfoot. Now, called The Young Gun, but I know Colt 45 had a episode that Bronson was in called Young Gun, but I've never seen anything like Sugarfoot. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah. Will, I can't think of his last name, but he played Sugarfoot. That's
Will Arnett?
Yeah, no, he played he was in 2 episodes of Sugarfoot.
I have one of them on VHS.
The Young Gun doesn't ring a bell though. It's not in the internet movie database. It's he's got 2 episodes of Sugarfoot, and I did search for that one. I looked at your the binder, it says Sugarfoot Young Gun, and I don't know that one.
I'm looking now.
But there's some beauties there, Dr. Kildare, and that. I'd love to get hold of a copy of that. I think like ET and I have talked about converting it, trying to convert it.
Colt 45 was also, I may have made a mistake then, because Colt 45 it says Young Gun, and Sugarfoot it says Young Gun.
No, it's not Young. Yeah, Sugarfoot's not Young Gun. Oh, so you made those labels up, did you?
I made those labels up myself. I must have just.
Yeah, I think that's wrong. Yeah, he was in 2 episodes of Sugarfoot. But one, I think, one was. No, that definitely not true. That's good to know because I couldn't find it anywhere. But
we'll get these transferred over. I'll make a master list of everything I have, and then we'll figure out how we can get these.
Where did you tape them off of? Did you videotape them off of television, or did you buy them at a convention?
I You know, we're talking over 30 years ago. I think there was a guy there used to be a couple guys who would advertise in like Film Collectors World magazine, and they had all these masters of VHSs. So I would reach out to this guy and ask him. I know that's how I got some of them.
Mate, I did notice that when you replied to me, and thanks very much. I was honoured that Tom Stockman had replied to me on a post, but he said, I think he said something about you had a lot of what was it? A lot of episodes, many Bronson on VHS, and about a dozen TV episodes on 16mm. What does that? Is that the real? Is it like that's reel to reel?
Oh, that's 16mm film. Sure, yeah. I've got the Bat Masterson episode where Bronson on the has that gun, the Gatling gun. I got that on 16.
Is he in Bat Masterson?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not on IB.
I think it's called Bat Masterson, isn't it?
No, it would be.
Maybe it's not Bat Masterson. It was.
That was a show, I believe. I believe he was on an episode of that, wasn't he?
It took place in New Orleans. It took place in New Orleans.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh God, Percy, not Percy. Yancey.
The guy's
Derringer.
name. Yancey Derringer. That's it. Yeah, that's
Yancey Derringer.
Oh, Yancey Derringer. Yeah.
I've got that on 16.
I remember that. I remember that because I like the name Yancey. I want to have another son and name him Yancey.
You know that was written by Richard Sale, the author of
That's right.
Yeah, him and his wife.
I've also got the episode of The Untouchables with Bronson on 16mm film.
And let's start calling Danny. Let's start calling Danny Dancy Getzinger.
Oh, I love it. I'm in. That's awesome.
Hey Tom, just before we go into your shrine, can they be converted at 16mm?
I guess they could be. You know, you have to take it.
I was given that years ago when I said I knew I was banned. That converts VHS, I think.
Yes, yeah. I need to get one of those. I've got a VHS player, but it doesn't seem to be working. But maybe I just need to clean the heads. I'll work on that. We just moved, and I've just sort of reassembled everything. So
have you moved away from?
I'll make some time to do that.
You've moved away from St. Louis. Is that where you live, St. Louis?
Mm-hmm. I think it's frozen up a little.
And that's something we can discuss off the show. I've been talking about plugging things into VCRs and recording things. How about you start showing us some of your collection there?
Sure. Well, right.
Your shrine, as you call
it. So this isn't actually in the shrine. This is in a different part of the house, but this is a original Machine Gun Kelly one sheet that I bought 40 years ago. And in 2011, I directed an event here in St. Louis called Vincentennial, the Vincent Price 100th birthday celebration. And our guest of honor was Roger Corman. So Corman signed a big stack of movie posters for me. In fact, here's a couple of more over here. But including the Machine Gun Kelly one. But now I'm going to... You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you froze for a second. You froze for a second, but now we see. Yeah, you're back.
Okay. All right.
You're frozen again, but I do see some stuff. I see a mechanic. I see.
Am I back? Good. Oh.
Cold Sweat, my favorite. Although that's a weird. I always thought that was a weird poster. You're frozen again. Tom.
Which one? I wonder if it's, this.
Yeah, you're freezing up a bit.
The Bronson Museum's kind of in the back of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to have you just film it someday and send it to us. But what is that, a dead spot at the back of your house?
Might be.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and just give it a try. It's not, the worst comes to the worst. Worst comes to the worst. It's we're still talking to you. We're still having a good time, right, Max?
Yeah. Hey Tom, is that
Can you see that stuff now?
Yeah. See that picture of Bronson in The Mechanic? Is that signed? Have you got that autographed by Jan Michael Vincent? Is that autographed?
So yeah, that is the mechanic. Let's see, there we go. Machine Gun Kelly card signed by Roger Corman. Going over the top shelf of the shrine. A lot of these, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Why don't you just spend like 3 or 4 minutes just showing us the stuff and talking? If you freeze, you freeze.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Because if we talk, I think like I'm not sure how this works on a podcast, but I think if we talk, our pictures pop up or something. Is that how it works, Danny?
It'll be fine. I have it set. So
Oh,
I'll
it
get
will be
everybody.
fine. It will be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and just
Okay.
show us stuff and talk. We'll
Okay,
figure
there's
it out.
Charles Bronson Street. A lot of this
All
stuff,
right.
I don't know where I got it.
Yeah.
I've had it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
This top row, I got a lot of these figures from that Ingolf guy in Croatia.
Yeah.
And I think he's posted a couple of times on your page.
Yes.
Yeah, now this is the newest one. Can you see the
Machine Gun Kelly?
no, that's Great Escape.
Yes, we see it. That's great.
Yeah, I got
And
Oh, that's a
Chato.
cool one. Yeah.
I got 3 more from him just a couple weeks ago. That's why I decided to finish assembling things.
Right.
There's a Chato's Land he did.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now
then
those aren't cheap, right? The Ingolf makes those, right?
yeah, there's Charlie Bronson. What he does is I send him, I think this is what he does. I send him source photos, like the Great Escape for instance. I sent him like 4 photos, slightly different photos from that scene. And he's able to scan those photos and make a figure on his computer. Then
like
he
a
can go,
3D printer.
yeah. Then he can go in and adjust the figure on on the computer. And then he does a 3D printout. And then he paints them up. Then he sends them to me from Croatia. And I've got
wow.
That's
okay.
excellent. I didn't realize
Yeah,
they were
I mean-
custom. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I actually designed this Great Escape one. He wanted to do a totally different Great Escape. But he's done 9 of them for me. Did Hard Times, Max Vince.
So are they one-offs? Are they? They're just unique, or
Yes and no. I think he sold a couple of each, as far as I know. And if you reach out to the guy, you can. He's got the file. As many as he wants.
So he sells some of them then. You froze up for a minute, but he's like some of them he sells.
But here's stuff.
The Mandem stuff, is that what you said? Freezing up a little
Yeah,
bit here,
Mandem, I've
boss.
got a vintage.
Not your fault.
And
Now, see, as a kid, I didn't know about Mandem. I didn't learn about Mandem until the internet came around.
Hey, Danny, isn't it crazy? I'm talking from Australia, and there's no.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with where you're at. I just like you're all the way in Australia and he's in St. Louis. I think it's just that
here's my
the internet is the internet.
here's my Mandem tattoo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that is great.
Yeah.
Did I read somewhere that you've got some of the Mandem aftershave? Or was that Paul Talbot?
Mandem what?
The Mandem shave aftershave, the actual.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of it right here.
You got a bottle?
Yeah.
From Japan?
I heard you drink a little bit every morning. Is that true?
Too much alcohol.
It'd be good with the coffee, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I got a bottle, Mandem coffee mug. This is the weirdest thing. This is a Mandem promo piece, a map of downtown Tokyo.
His son's on the cover with him.
Bronson and his son, Tony. And on the back is the Mandem logo.
And I find that weird being his personal.
That's just one of those crazy things. I don't even remember where I got it.
Yeah, I find that strange because Bronson was so private.
I think if I pick
he
things up and go into this other room, it's better. Also, does anybody have the Charles Bronson rubber doll?
A rubber doll? No,
Oh,
I want to find that. I looked it up after you posted it, and they are not
Yeah.
cheap, but I want to get one anyway.
you do look a bit like him, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hunt
I,
them.
I
I'm
like
gonna hunt.
this.
Which one's Bronson?
It says 1971 on it, and he's wearing a white sailor suit, and he's got a Tommy gun. So you can't win them all. He has a sailor suit and a Tommy gun, and that came out in 1971. So it must be some sort of promotional piece for that film.
Right. And I think
But I've
at
never
that
been able to
time,
figure out exactly what it is either.
yeah, at that time he was already pretty big in those other countries. Um,
Oh,
when you talk about
oh yeah.
collecting from those magazines back in the day, even in the 80s when I became a Bronson fan, um, I used to I think her name was Barb or something, Barb's Hollywood or something. I found her in the back of a magazine. She would send me a giant manila like folder of Bronson stuff, and I would pick what I wanted, send her back the money, and send her back what I didn't want. And she trusted me. It was
Yeah,
amazing. It was insane.
that's pretty trust.
It is
Well,
amazing.
back then there weren't that many Bronson collectors. I used to go to movie memorabilia conventions in Chicago,
Yeah.
and you could just Bronson paper was everywhere, and it was cheap. Nobody else collected it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got suitcases in here full of movie memorabilia, movie posters, and lobby cards, and press kits and press books.
I lost a
going
lot
to
of
those
things.
things.
Yeah, I lost a lot of the stuff that I had over the years, but I got something here
Yeah.
that you sent me the House of Wax postcard. That's really cool.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
from the Movie Land Wax Museum. And I've got the
were-
Death Wish 4 pen and pencil set.
That's insane.
I wonder if this was something that was on the set, or maybe it was just a promo piece.
Yeah, that's real interesting. Like, why would they put together a pen set?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were talking a minute ago about the Vincent Price 100. So I assume you played House of Wax then, correct?
We did not. We did not.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
That was 2011. I think we tried to look into showing pretty much everything, but we couldn't. We didn't want to show it without showing it in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
But I did talk to the guy that ran the 3D Historical Society. I talked to him back in 2010,
right.
and he owned the wax head of Charles Bronson that's in the final shot of the movie. He owned that prop.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
But,
Have you ever talked to the guys from Exhumed Films?
No.
Yeah, they're from New Jersey, but like close to Philly. They might as well be Philly. They used to do double features of like horror and exploitation films over in New Jersey back before the internet, and now they're huge. They do these drive-in thing in the Mahoning Drive-In, and they did a Bronson thing one year where Brad Crane met Paul Talbot there. But I couldn't go that summer, so I asked them the next year, and they said they didn't get enough interest, so they weren't doing it again. And I just thought that sucked. I was like, damn, that really sucks. Like that's why we do this show, because those names are disappearing.
Yeah.
Well, I collect Super 8mm films as well as 16mm films. So in 2010, I did a Charles Bronson themed night. Now this is a T-shirt for that night.
Yeah, I remember you showing this on our page. Yeah, that's really
Super
cool.
8 Charles Bronson Movie Madness, and I showed Super 8 condensed. They would take a movie and they would condense it down to 400 feet, which would be like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I had about a dozen Bronson ones, including Hard Times, Breakout, Dirty Dozen.
Hey Tom, do me a favor. Find somewhere.
The Arrow. Yeah.
Do me a favor. Find somewhere to sit down and just relax, because it's getting real choppy.
Okay, I'm back in it. this is a better room.
Just
All right,
What was
circling
your
cool.
question?
just circling back for a second. You said about in the House of Wax, Bronson's head.
This shouldn't be happening.
I
You guys
read-
there?
Yeah, we're
Yep.
here. We're here.
I read somewhere. Oh, actually, no, it was in Harriet Tendler's book, Charlie and Me. I read that he had that bust at
Yeah.
and he didn't like it. He put it in a back room or something. But he had that bust.
He did bring it home from the studio. In fact, she talked about that in that interview. And
Yeah.
she said he would put it in the front window to scare people. But he must have taken it back to the studio because it ended up in this other guy's hands
Right.
that I had talked to. But then that guy died, so I don't know where it is now.
Yeah, that was like one of those things. Who's the famous? You would know this, Tom. You know more about this stuff than me. That the famous horror. I think he was a director or something that has like a house that's like a museum of horror stuff from like the 60s and 50s. Is it Ackerman? Maybe
Yeah,
it was
there was
Florian
Ackerman.
J. Ackerman.
But
Yeah,
he
Ackerman.
wasn't a director. He was a
writer or something.
he was
right?
an
Magazine?
agent. He was an agent for many famous science fiction writers, and then he produced Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he might own that head. He might have owned that head at some time.
No, I don't think so. I think he probably died about the same time this other guy died.
Yeah. I heard Guillermo
Yeah,
Guillermo del Toro has quite a museum at his house.
yeah, and so does the one guy from
Metallica.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kirk Hammett. Yeah.
he's got like the robe that Boris Karloff wore and the black cat.
Yeah. Okay, bud.
He's just got crazy good stuff.
Yeah. My son and his friend just came in the room. They make
All right.
my son makes an appearance on every show. So
I
make an
see.
appearance.
Tell him to go watch. Tell him to go watch Hard Times.
I told him we were going to watch because I'm turning 50 on Tuesday. So I said, you know what, we're going to watch Breakout because it came out around the same time as I did, and and you get to see a guy get chopped up by an
Propeller,
airplane
yeah.
propeller. Yeah, we were watching Jaws earlier. He does like Jaws, and he does like the White Buffalo and Dirty Dozen, but he doesn't have much interest in any other Bronson movies. But he will once he sees like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Show him a Violent City.
We're going to show him the original Death Wish.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Do you need something? How much more longer? Why? What do we do? What do you want to do? About 20 more minutes, okay? All right, love you. I'd say a staple of the program. My son walking in. Tom is frozen again, but maybe he can hear us. Max, do you have any
I can
more
hear
questions? Okay, cool.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Oh yeah, the movies. Do you have like a big collection of the Blu-rays of the makings of and all?
Yeah, I've got.
Death Wish 2. Death Wish 2 had a European release. It had the full, the full version, and like it was cut a lot for us in America and Australia. So do you get hold of that sort of stuff?
Well, the one that Paul Talbot does the commentary on is uncut. It's got a couple of restored sequences.
Wow.
So I've got all of Bronson stuff on DVD and Blu-ray, and I upgrade if it comes out on Blu-ray. There's a couple of movies that I don't have. I'm like, I don't really have Machine Gun Kelly on a home video. I have it on 16 millimeter. And there's what's the war one? To Hell and Back or something.
When Hell Broke Loose.
When Hell
Yeah,
Broke Loose,
When Hell
yeah.
Broke Loose. I got that on VHS, and I've never been able to find a DVD of it. There's a couple others.
Yeah, we're having Paul on probably next week. It won't be it won't be out next week, but then again, no one's listening to this right this second, so that wasn't unnecessary to say. But he's going to do White Buffalo. He never actually came on and just did a film before. We always just interviewed him.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing, Paul really introduced me to the commentary. And now our friend Dwayne Epstein does them too. And I have a Lee Marvin movie that he did the commentary on. But I love the commentary from those guys because they know a lot. Like I don't want to watch Bridesmaids and listen to like the lady from Bridesmaids talk about the
Yeah.
movie. Like to
No,
me, commentary sounded awful until I heard Paul Talbot, and I was like, oh yes,
well,
this is
the historian commentaries are always going to be better than people that were involved in the film.
yeah, especially Paul. He'll see like a piece of
Paul's
trash.
great.
Yeah, a piece of trash floating down the street and be like, oh, that's a hamburger wrapper from.
Well, Tim Lucas is the same. He does all the commentaries for the Mario Bava films and the Jess Franco films, and he's amazing. He's my favorite commentarian.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm
Tim
sure
Lucas.
Mike Malloy, who's a friend of the show, he's really into a lot of those Italian. He's
Yeah, so am I.
Euro crime films. Yeah, he turned me on to those. I actually just starting to watch those myself. So if you ever have any suggestions, let me know.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what is your favorite piece of your collection, of your Bronson
Favorite
collection?
piece. I should have been prepared for that question. Maybe, I'm in love with this Great Escape model that I just got a couple weeks ago.
That is really cool.
I don't know if I have a favorite piece. I mean, I got a bust. I've got that rubber toy that I love. But I'll tell you what, the holy grail of Bronson items that I don't have is the Esco statue. Ever seen that?
Not sure.
Esco statues, you used to see them all the time in the 70s, and they're all about 2.5, 3 feet tall. They're heavy. They're heavy as heck. And they would have the Three Stooges and their heads would be a little big and they'd be really heavy. They were really popular. They were
I believe I know what you're talking about. Like like sometimes like a 50s themed diner will have like the Stooges, but the heads are bigger.
Yeah. Well, they made one of Bronson.
Wow.
And
I did not know that.
I got a picture of it somewhere. And he's wearing a blue suit and he's got a gun in his hand. And they must not have made very many of the Bronson statues because I saw one on eBay and I didn't buy it, but I just, it would have cost a fortune to ship it for one thing. But that's kind of my holy grail of things I'd like to have.
How much would that thing cost?
Well, it would have to cost a couple $100 just to ship. But let's say I drove over. I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Right. All right. Well, Max, buy that for him, okay?
Yeah, ship it to Australia.
Problem, isn't
it? Yeah. But
no, you better have a lot of security over there, Tom. I hope you got good cameras and security.
Yeah, we do. We live in a very safe neighborhood. My wife and our dog.
Mate, I'll tell you what Tom has. I'll tell you. Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just one about when you interviewed Paul Talbot. Was that a phone hookup, or did you meet him somewhere?
It was a phone interview. No, I've never met Paul. I think he lives in South Carolina.
He's very obliging.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. We had a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what Tom has. Tom has a very cool, understanding wife because I am bartering with my wife right now just to hang up my Death Wish 2 poster. And she says, and she gives me like chores. Like if you do this, this, and that, you can hang one poster up in the office.
We're talking about you, huh?
we're talking.
Now your wife sounds like my ex-wife.
Right.
And mine too. My ex-wife.
No, but my wife, we've just been married 3 years now. She's a collector too. She collects Disney stuff and comic books and Lord of the Rings. And so she's a collector. So she understands. She's very understanding about my collection, our collections.
Maybe I'll have one of them soon.
An understanding wife?
Yeah, maybe I might work on that in my 50th year of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but my first wife was a real pain in the butt about everything had to be in the basement.
Yeah.
Nothing could come upstairs. Well, I mean, it was a nice big finished basement, but still, I like the way it is now. Everything's spread out throughout the house. I mean, my house is kind of a series of shrines.
Right.
I mean, I showed you the Bronson, and that's the biggest one. But I've got a When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth shrine. In fact, you can probably see it right over there. I've got a Pam Grier shrine, a Kitten Natividad shrine, a Faster Pussycat Kill shrine.
Would you say Pam Grier is your second biggest obsession? Because I feel like Pam Grier is a big one for you.
Well, she's my favorite female movie star of all time. That's for sure. And I did get to spend a weekend with her when she was in town for a film festival. I got to be her driver, and I got to pick her up at the airport and take her to all the media appearances. So that was cool. And then I've got this Pam Grier tattoo. This is my favorite. That's my favorite tattoo. And I texted her a picture of that tattoo, and she said it was the best tattoo of her she'd ever seen.
She seems very cool. You know who I'm a big fan of, and also I considered him a friend when he was alive because I met him so many times, and he really liked me for a rat soup eating honky motherfucker. Yeah. He really liked me, so I love him.
He lived in St. Louis for a while.
Did he?
Yeah. I think he moved to Vegas or somewhere where he died, but he lived in St. Louis later in life, and he would play at these rundown little comedy clubs way up in North City.
Yeah.
But I never got to meet him.
He was a very, very kind person, very quiet, like you nothing like his character.
Yeah.
And you very like I had a girlfriend at the time when the first time I met him who had a very nice kind of round rump. And she wore these cut-off jeans, and she wanted him to autograph the ass. And I thought, oh my God, Rudy Ray Moore is going to go nuts for that. But he was such a gentleman. He was like afraid to approach her, but like he was like, I was shocked. I thought he was going to just freak out on her.
Oh yeah,
giant mass, but no, it didn't work. And I saw him. Except, so we had a thing around here called Chiller Theater. I don't know if that comes out to St. Louis.
No,
but I think. Yeah, it's a new big thing in New Jersey, North Jersey, New York. And he accepted the first Dolomite Blaxploitation Award. And then after him, Roger Corman accepted this first, like it was very early on in the Chiller years. So their very first Excellence in B-movie directing award was named after Roger Corman, and Roger Corman accepted it after Rudy. And he went up there and he gave a lot of love to Rudy. And it was he said something. He said, like, back in this, when I was directing in the 70s, all these guys started coming out, the black guys, and he was like, and he said, who the hell are these guys? You know what I mean? Like, and so he was like, he really admired Rudy, and Rudy, of course, admired him. But that was really neat because I'm talking now about like 1995, 1996, and of course, when you're 20 years old, Roger Corman and Rudy Ray Moore seem so old and so like they've been around forever. But looking back, they were still fairly young people. Like they were probably the age I am now, maybe even younger. I'm not even sure.
But, yeah, you seen the Eddie Murphy biography of.
I did, and I was actually very happy with it. As a fan, I was very happy with it. I thought it was I don't know. I wasn't there for his story, and I'm sure they took a lot of artistic license, but it was the way he portrayed Rudy off stage, which what it was like meeting him. It really was.
It was a hilarious movie.
Oh, it was great. They did such a good job, and they made him like, I love how they made this foul mouth comedian seem so endearing. Like when he decides not to go into the premiere of the movie, and he's outside with that 11-year-old kid who's like doing the rhymes, like and dropping motherfucker and this and that, and Rudy's doing it back to him. It doesn't seem like, you don't say to yourself, "Oh, that's awful. He's using that language with a child." You see it and you get goosebumps, and you're like, "That's so beautiful."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you've seen it, Dancy Geringer? You've seen it?
Absolutely. I saw that the day it went up. I've seen that movie like 3 or 4 times. Like it's so good.
Yeah, Rudy Ray Moore is probably he's second to Bronson in my book. I just love the guy. But yeah,
I'd say Clint's my second favorite star.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Clint, of course, and we still have him, which is insane.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's ever going to die. Like
he'll outlive us all.
I feel like we're going to see him turn 100, kind of like Mel Brooks. I think we're probably going to see him turn 100.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Have you
squeeze out a couple more movies?
Have you met anybody of that caliber, I know you didn't meet Bronson. You would have told
us. I met And I've met a lot of people like that. I met Gregory Peck. I've met Arnold Schwarzenegger. I met Arnold Schwarzenegger when I was 16 years old, and he hadn't even started movies. He was pumped.
Really?
He was out promoting the second Pumping Iron book, and his English was really bad. That was about 1978. I was in the same room with Jack Nicholson once, but I didn't actually meet him. I mean, I've been going to these conventions like Chiller. I went to the Fangoria Weekend of Horrors back in 1989, and I met everybody: Dario Argento and George Romero and Toby Hooper and John Landis, Steve James, the Canon action star who passed away.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
But then a lot of old people like Yvette Vickers, a lot of people, Robert Clark, people who have passed away.
More excited about people of that level of fame.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest star I've ever met was probably talking to Robert F. Lyons on here. Like I can't think.
Oh yeah.
I really can't think of to me meeting Rudy Ray Moore and Fred Olen Ray was like amazing. Like I met them I met Fred in person a couple times, and it becomes like almost not really that amazing anymore because he's so personable and so like friendly. But
Tony Perkins was another one at that convention, and Roddy McDowell, who was good friends with Vincent Price. But now, I mean, now you got Robert Englund, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mean to diss him, but it's not his fault. But you know, he's going to be in Chicago for Flashback, and he's charging like $200 for his autograph and the line.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore.
And you have to get a ticket to get in line. And it's just
the Rudy Ray Moore. Yeah, I don't go to those anymore. Ever since Richard Dreyfuss showed up. Like I love Richard. I love Draws. I love Richard Dreyfuss. I don't want to meet him. I want to meet like the girl that was on the raft in like I love that kind of shit. There's a Halloween store here in my neighborhood called it used to be it's a pool store, but they did a Halloween store in October to make extra money because nobody's buying pool stuff in the fall. Well, they got so into the horror genre and selling stuff that now they're open all year long. And they're having a Scream reunion, and like Lachlan Monroe is going to be there, and it's like $20.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is reserve a spot. You don't even have to pay. You just have to reserve the spot. And he's kind of like a little bigger than I'm used to meeting. But I think that would be cool, like to go there with my son, like literally down the street. I live in the suburbs, and these people it's him and like I don't know, a couple of other people, not Scream, Scary Movie, I think they were in. But they have like the clown from Terrifier there like twice a year, and I don't like those movies, but like for $20 you sit there, your kid can sit there because he comes at Christmas and does a Terrifier Santa Claus, and that reminds me of like when I would go to Chiller, or like when I would meet like I met like Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard at like a hayride. You know what I mean? Like it reminds me of those little things that were like a lot of fun, and now it's been ruined. It's been ruined by the big stars and stuff. I think.
Yeah, it's become more of a business and less for the fans.
And you know that like Richard Dreyfuss or somebody like that doesn't want to be there. Where let me think of a name.
Some people I think are more sincere and in their interactions with their fans than others. I know some of these people have been super nice, and I remember, like Robert Vaughn from Magnificent Seven. He's got to be the grumpiest celebrity I ever met.
Really?
And then, what's her name? There's another one. Oh, Tracy Lords, who was an underage porno star. She was just maybe she was having a bad day, but she was nasty. But most of them, 90% of the time, they're really nice.
Yeah, they you know what's funny about that is I would go to the Chiller thing and I wouldn't really have the money for everyone's autograph.
Yeah.
And there was a couple times when I was young, I stopped and talked to people, and they would talk to me like without maybe it's because I was young and I was a kid, but like Dean Cameron, who was in like summer school and stuff, like he was really cool. And Yeah, I like that stuff. Max, who's
Yeah.
the most famous person you've ever met, Max? Crocodile
Oh,
Dundee?
I was thinking about that. There's a movie star over in the States that I know pretty well. His name's Eric Todd. He's
Wow.
Oh,
Heard of
he's
that's
about the
true.
most famous person.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of sports stars, but movie no, because Australia, where I live, we don't film a lot of the filming. We do have on the Gold Coast a movie world and production company, but my son is actually doing a lot of movie extra stuff now.
Oh, wow, cool.
Down there, and he's
Well,
got an agent and everything. But no, mate, just and living through your eyes and Tom's eye, just meeting. I'd love to, but as I say, my aim is to get over to the States very soon, and at least get around and look for a bit of Bronson memorabilia and that sort of thing. So
Yeah. Well, we should have a Bronson convention.
yes,
I've been thinking about that. I've been
yes.
thinking about that. I think we could get I think we could get some of the guests to show up. I know Jordan Rhodes would do it.
I'd do it.
Maybe I would love Juan for now. Let's start talking about that. I
Yeah.
want to meet Juan in person. He's such a character.
Can I throw it out there for November after Thanksgiving?
That's pretty soon to put a convention together. But
you can do it
but
like
Ju-
in Ehrenfeld, Pennsylvania. I think there's a couple of signs,
Yeah.
or maybe go to his grave site, which I think is in Vermont, I believe.
And I plan on going to both of those places.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jinx it, but my stepmom has a family reunion that I was invited to in July, and it's 40 minutes from Renfeld, Pennsylvania. But we don't know if we're going yet because she is like not doing real well, and it's a long car ride.
Mhm.
But I think we would have to do it in like a big city,
Bigger city.
maybe somewhere where everybody could fly to easily, like Philly or St. Louis or something
Yeah.
like that. But I'd say we start talking about it, we start
Yeah.
planning it.
I can
And
bring
talking of
my 60 millimeter projector and my Super 8 projectors, and we can show Bronson movies on film.
And Stephen Peros has a couple. I think he has I don't want to speak out of school here, but I think he told me he has Farewell Friend on film. I'm not sure.
Possible.
But I would love to meet all those writers and everybody. I know Bert comes out to the East Coast sometimes promoting his books. And speaking of me, Max brought me up me being a movie star. I just want to say that Bronsploitation, Mike Malloy's documentary. If you look up Tough and Gritty Mike Malloy on Instagram, or just find Mike Malloy on Facebook, you can watch the trailer to Bronsploitation. I'm the hero of that movie because I'm the only person who thinks that the lookalikes of Charles Bronson are unnecessary. I don't hate them. They're not bad people, but I
don't
just
begrudge them.
Yeah, I don't begrudge them, but those people that are saying that they capture the essence of Bronson are full of crap, are full of shit.
Very superficially.
Yeah, I'm the hero of the film.
Just on that convention, I can't miss that now, but I am coming to the States for what do I say? Thanksgiving. But Danny, would you be able to set up maybe a please fund me for Bronson convention, because that'll be the second trip.
We'll have to.
You can throw that up on the Facebook page. I'm sure you'd get it funded.
Yeah, we'll have to make something happen while you're here, Max. We'll have to make
Now, Max, let me ask you a question. Behind you, is that a poster, a life-size poster of Bronson wearing a thick coat?
Yes, it is. I got like ET. I was in two phases with Bronson, and that was in my early days.
I've got that poster. I've got that. Yeah, it's about 5 feet tall, I believe.
Yeah, I got it mounted on particle board, on a backing board, and then I made the frame for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much like ET, where my ex-wife wouldn't let me hang anything up, and I lost a lot of stuff because, like you, Tom, in the basement, I wasn't allowed to put it up, and I lost a lot of stuff. And that one isn't in the best of condition, but it's I did actually put it up there for the pot, but you know, it's not mounted. It's just it, but it's very heavy. It's very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I've got
that
that.
is my pride and joy. It is. I'm glad you noticed that, mate.
Yeah, I did.
I used to own that. I used to own that too.
I have dedicated my little shrine to you, Tom.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Dedicated to you, mate.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
I have to say, I used to own that poster as well. There was a kind of like what they call like a head shop here in New Hope, Pennsylvania, that sold like Grateful Dead shirts and posters and like the incense and like bad smelling hippie stuff. And they had back in the far corner, they had some posters that they must have had left over from like a long time ago, and they had that there. And I used to add it. I lost it not with a in a more recent, I mean not recent, a more long before my wife, with a different person I was living with. What's up, son?
I've seen it.
Hey, Tom.
No, I have not. It was in the living room, buddy.
Tom, just looking at the shrine, those photos look so good. Like I'm going to have to get more now, but I love that one of man with a camera. Is that one you purchased, or like it, or is it like a blow up?
It was just an 8x10. It was an 8x10 photo. I don't remember where I got it. It was just
it looks really good in a frame. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish it was autographed. I do have a couple of Charles Bronson autographs. I have a 11x14 Death Wish lobby card. Now, I'd say there's a good chance it's not a real autograph, but I bought it from a autograph dealer in Chicago, and it had a little certificate of authenticity. And then I've got an 8x10 from noon till 3 that's signed by Jill and Charles. But again, I didn't get either autographed in person, and I don't collect autographs unless I get them in person. But I knew I'd never get a Bronson autograph unless I did that.
Mate, if you can't, if you can't find room for him, I think I have in my shrine. I've got a couple of walls free.
I have a picture of him, so that's autographed. But I think so I used to write him letters to. I found the Pancho Coner or Paul Coner agency in the back of a magazine, and I would send him letters. And every time I sent a letter, I would get a picture in the mail that said Charles Bronson. You could tell it was stamped on there. Yeah. And finally, I must have sent him so many letters that they sent me one that said "Good wishes, Charles Bronson." And I have it in a frame. I've never gotten it checked, but it doesn't feel like it's stamped on there. And I'm like, I wonder if he actually signed this. Like, I think about getting it checked, but I don't know. I don't really care that much about that kind of stuff. I'm never like I never really was a big autograph guy. Sure. I liked having that interaction with people. But I will get it checked one day. Yes. But do you own the Charles Bronson the musical on vinyl? I bet you don't.
No, I do not. I don't. I would have nothing to play it on. Is it available on CD?
I will have to check for you. Henry Brooks has been a guest on the show, and this is his album, his musical that he put together. And Charles Bronson is played by Steven Weber. Jill Ireland is played by Lisa Loeb. So this is real. This is not a joke. These are famous people that did this. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get you a copy.
Did they perform it on stage, or did they just record these musical numbers?
They have performed it on stage before. I will send you some clips of that because we're big supporters of Henry. Oh yeah. Henry is 19. Wow. Henry wrote this when he was 17. He performed it at his high school. Yeah. So
that's amazing. That's amazing, really.
It is very amazing. Yes.
There are a couple of the clips on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing to see young people sort of rediscovering Bronson.
Oh, he's our favorite guy. Like we just love that kid. And well, hopefully, I don't know if he listens to every episode, but if he listens to this, or even if he doesn't listen to it, for our fans, Charles Bronson, More Than a Vigilante, the musical. You got to pick it up. It's it was a limited edition vinyl, but I believe the CD is coming out or is out. I'm going to have to look into that.
I will too. Because then I can put it in my shrine, even if I don't have a record player.
Right, right. Oh yeah, you don't
Yeah.
believe me. I own a lot of records I've never listened to because that's one of the weird things that I collect. But anyway, do you have any more questions, Max? Because my son is now driving me insane.
Oh, mate, that actually is more personal, not too much about. I know you posted a lot about with your dog, with your
Oh,
border collie, magnificent dog. I haven't got one, but my best mate, or one of my best mates, has a female border collie, and
no,
I call her my girlfriend,
she's
and
an Australian Shepherd.
Oh,
Australian.
there you go.
She's
There you
not a border
go.
collie. She's
Oh wow,
yeah.
okay.
And
And
I named her Tura after Tura Satana.
wow. I
In
didn't
fact,
know
I got to spend a weekend with Tura Satana back in 2008,
Mhm.
and I asked her if she'd ever met Bronson, and she said she had played in a celebrity softball game
Wow.
with Bronson, and I thought that was odd, and I never heard anything about it again. But then I saw a picture on a Tura Satana page with her playing at a celebrity softball game. Though you couldn't see Bronson in the picture, but she claims that's how she met him.
I feel like he's done more of those type of things than I had any idea that he did. Like
Yeah.
I was who 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 passed away recently, and someone found a picture of him sitting right next to them. I can't remember who it was. And it was some kind of Night of a Thousand Stars event or
No, yeah.
something. Yeah. And
I think Jill probably got him out socializing.
oh yes, yes. I'm pretty sure he did anything like that. Like I just, as long as I've been a fan, I just recently found out that he was friends with, or not friends, but neighbors and friendly with Dick Van Dyke. I thought that was.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
read that? That's an amazing story.
I read that. Well, when I interviewed Harriet, she said their best friends in Hollywood were Steve McQueen and his wife,
Mhm.
and also Michael Ansara and Barbara Eden, who were married.
Yes, I did
And
know.
they were all lived in the same neighborhood.
I did know that he was friends with Michael Ansara, like really good friends with him. And I knew that he was friendly with McQueen. And the legend is that he was with McQueen in a car when he saw the
Yeah,
name Bronson Avenue in LA and chose the
yeah.
name. But that could be Hollywood lore.
Well,
You
no,
never know.
Harriet backs up that story.
Really?
She was in
Okay,
the car
cool.
too,
Oh, neat, neat.
and she writes about it in her autobiography.
yeah.
That's amazing.
A lot of other stories about it, though. You hear lots of stories about that, how he got it named.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson does mention himself in an interview with, one of those interviews when he's with Lee Marvin, I think. He does mention
Mm-hmm.
that it was his wife and his manager. Yeah. So he was in the car with, yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for asking about the dog, Tura. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, thank you for asking that because I think dogs are very important.
Oh,
I like talking.
We
I
go
don't
to the
think
dog
there's
park every day.
yeah, that's great. I have a little tiny old lady type dog. But my bad so I think we're at about an hour here and like I said, my child is now getting bored because 9-year-olds can get bored. But I want to thank Maximum Kill Count, the Viscount of Vengeance, the Australian Avenger, for joining us today. And he's going to be with us on the Paul Talbot episode coming up too. And I want to thank you, Tom Stockmania. I really appreciate this.
I'm glad to do it. It was fun. And when you drop this podcast, I can post a bunch of pictures of the collection on the Facebook page.
That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. And what we'll do is and listen, we'll have to have you on again and just do a movie.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
I'll let you pick.
Yeah.
I'll let you pick it if you want. I mean, if you're interested.
Okay, sure. Oh, you mean to talk about a movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, not to watch one, but to talk about one.
When you get the when you take some photos of your shrine, can you make sure you get some nice close up of all the books? I think you've got some amazing and a book collection that you're done for. So yeah, get the close up so you see what they are.
Well, I've got the books on Bronson, then I've also got the movie tie-in books.
Yeah.
Because back in the 60s and 70s, every movie had to have a tie-in book.
Yeah.
Can I make a request to some close-ups of your wife as well, please?
Oh.
You have a lovely, very understanding wife.
Oh,
and I also want to thank our newest member, Dancy Geringer. I love it.
What a great name.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've been listening to This Week in Charles Bronson. Our guests have been Tom Stockman, and of course, my beautiful, lovely sidekick today has been Max Adams from Down Under, the Thunder from Down Under.
From Down Under.
All right. Good night, kids.
All right. Thanks.